G'day folks, how we doing? I'm here at the Mount York lookout at Mount Victoria. I've got a really nice week on this week. I'm just on my way to do some guided bushwalks for local land services. I've just got to get to Hassan's Walls at Lithgow. It's Monday morning, the last week of September, and I've got a whole heap of guided bushwalks on from Monday to Thursday this week, going right out to Cowra and hanging around there. And I'm hoping to make a whole suite of videos. So I'm hoping to get a whole heap of videos in during this week. So in between the bushwalks, so it should be a lot of fun. In the last Eucalypt workshop, when I went out to Dubbo, I just learned that this is a great place to get this guy. It's a Stringybark, and it's hanging out here on the Mount York lookout, and there's some real textbook examples. There's one over here. Yeah, the first thing about it, it's a Stringybark. Got definite strings on it. Might look a little bit like a peppermint from a distance, but got genuine stringy fibres. And then when you go up into the canopy, the leaves are green. But one thing about it that people talk about is it's got smooth upper branches, which is a little bit atypical for a lot of Stringybarks. It's got smooth upper branches, a little bit like maybe something like Piperita, and it's a bit atypical with the upper smooth white branches, if I'm doing that justice there. There's some really nice lookouts here down towards the Lithgow area and Hartley. So it's a great place to come and check out some lookouts. The other tree that's here that it's growing with, and it's sort of on a bit of sandstone, is Eucalyptus radiata. So there's Eucalyptus radiata all through the car park here. And I'm not sure if I'd be right, but I reckon it might be the closest you can get radiata to the Greater Sydney area. I get it in Mittagong, of course, but I'm just wondering how far closer you could get it to Sydney. I think this is radiata just here. Yeah, here it is. And as far as I'd be concerned, I reckon that's the closest you might get radiata to the Greater Sydney area, although I should draw a line from sort of somewhere in Sydney to Mount Victoria and then draw it to Mittagong as well. Maybe Mittagong might be a little bit closer, but there's radiata here, and I don't think you get it much closer to Sydney. There's also a glomerata. So there's a glomerata, blue leaf Stringybark, but here is what we call Blaxlandii. Beautiful Blaxland Stringybark. It's one that I've struggled to sort of get familiar with and discern in the field. It's a little bit more obscure than some of the others. It's a New South Wales tree only, Blaxlandii. This is far up as around the Candos area, Capertee Valley maybe. That's not too far from here as the crow flies. Capertee Valley, around sort of that east of Candos area there, and then it comes down from there through here, Katoomba, Lithgow, Blackheath, Mount Victoria down this way, and then it keeps going down sort of the inland tablelands areas. It goes down into the Southern Highlands. Where I've picked it up is around Penrose. Penrose State Forest is one of the main places I've seen it. In the sort of Penrose State Forest area, and then you see those records around Tallong, and then it goes further south and it ends up there in Moreton National Park somewhere west of, I'd say Bateman's Bay and going down to Bermagui. And if you look at the records, it looks like it peters out sort of west of Bermagui there somewhere. That's its range. So it's New South Wales only. It says it's meant to just be in dry and wet sclerophyll forest, and it's normally on sandy soil. We're on sandstone here. I'd say this is the Narrabeen sandstone, I think. The Hawkesbury's sort of probably petered out by now. So it's meant to be a sandy Stringybark, maybe in the rocky outcrops and sand anyway, rather than on heavier soils. And I think I have seen it in some wet sclerophyll forest in Penrose as well, where they can get really tall. They can get to 30 metres tall, Blaxland stringybark. Here's the leaves. I've just liberated this branch from the car park. The leaves are very green. We've got blue leaf stringybark here as well, but Blaxland stringybark, they're very green. Oblique base there you can see. Let's try and get this one off here. They've got the oblique stringybark base. It's strong in most cases. And they're concolorous. Nice concolorous leaves, like typical stringybark feature a lot of the time. They've got a relatively thick texture. I wouldn't say capitulata thick, but they are getting on the thickish side. Yeah, they've got a nice thick texture there, so might be moving up towards capitulata. It's pretty thick. Oblique base, pretty thick. Got some sort of yellowish petioles to it. There's a distinctive mid vein there as well. I got some buds here, and they might not be in the full developed stage, but I do have some at least developing here. The buds are said to be anywhere from 9 to 15. That one's got 9. Actually 10. Yeah, that one's got 10. We got 6 there, I think. That might have 9 or 10. And what they say about the buds on Euclid is, firstly, they're glossy. They've got a glossy sheen to them, and then they've got a rounded opercula, each bud has a rounded operculum, rounded bud cap. In stringybarks like Eugenioides, Globoidia, agglomerata, the buds are meant to be more pointed. They're meant to be a lot more pointed. Blaxlandii is known for having these rounded buds. Beautiful, glossy, rounded, you can see there. Nice rounded buds. So in 9s to 15s, and yeah, they're meant to have sort of a glossy sheen, and you can see that there. So they've probably got a bit more development to go, but that's basically meant to be the gist of them. So they don't have that pointed operculum, which I've definitely observed in Globoidia, I think, and agglomerata as well a lot of the time. And then we get to our fruits, and I've got some great examples here. And the thing about the fruit is they're big. They're nice and big. We're talking capitulata size. I'd say capitulata is another one that has pointed buds as well when you look at them. But these fruits are really getting like capitulata. They're nice and round. They can be up to 13 mil across. They're a really nice size. These ones are still developing, and they talk about the valves not being overly exerted, but they are exerted to a point. But they're nice and big. I'm trying to get some fully developed ones right down the branch here. Oh, where are we? Just check out these ones. Very clustered and a beautiful size. I know I can't really demonstrate that, but I'll see if might have to pull these ones off and just get them in my hand. They're a nice big size. Probably, yeah, I'd say these ones are at least 10 mil across. 10 mil, nice and compacted. So they're sort of capitulata-like, the way they're big and they're compressing in on each other. It's a much bigger tree than capitulata, and the buds are different and probably just growing in different geographic ranges, but I'd say they're closely linked, Blaxlandii and agglomerata. Capitulata. Yeah, so beautiful clustered fruits. They're really artistic, really on the big side. Just really beautiful. The fruits are very distinctive. Just these ones up here, the ones developing, they're so beautifully big and clustered. That nice green-brown colour, very distinctive. And I think it says the valves can be exerted, but they're not overly strongly exerted. So here's just another textbook example to finish off. This is definitely one here. I can see the fruits up in the canopy. just up that way. And as you look up here, just note the upper bare branches. Just really atypical for a stringybark. It's more like a, you know, it's more like Botrytis. It's got that sort of Botrytis thing going on with the, or Piperita. There's no ribbons. It's not dropping any ribbons like Piperita might, but it's got really smooth upper cream, you know, creamy white branches. And when you look at the canopy of it, for a stringybark, it's got sort of a more generous canopy. It's when I learnt Blaxlandii, I thought it's got a sort of resinifera canopy, a more mahogany sort of canopy. It's got a real resinifera look to it to me. Just got those features. It's got a lot of bare branching up the top here. That makes it an atypical stringybark. So that's a beautiful Blaxland stringybark. Yeah, look out for it. It's sort of hard to find because of its sort of inland limited distribution, but remember from Candos down to about Bermagui, New South Wales only.